this looks pretty nice, and this is quite different, okay? Now, what you want to think is, how am I going to use this to have an effect upon the horse, okay? So as he's walking, what I want you to feel is the saddle goes back forward, back forward, back forward, back forward every stride, right? Okay, and that should be pretty noticeable. Okay, so the way you tell what he's doing and what you want him to do and direct him is there is a desired amount of back forward movement, like how much he moves, and then there's how quick he moves. Okay, this gets right back to where you're talking longer, slower, right? So what we'd ideally like him to do is make this back forward movement a little slower, but not much shorter, okay? So what you can do is you can try to resist moving as quickly by using a little more bear down, closing your thigh a little to the saddle with your knee staying up in front of you. Good, and give him a little half halt and close your thigh a little stronger and sit really back on the back edges of your britches. Good, and almost feel like your seat is going to slide back of your flesh a little bit in the back phase of the walk. So as your saddle goes back, you put energy pushing it back to hold him back on your seat. Feel how all of a sudden he starts to walk with you and not a little bit ahead of you, okay? Now, so this is what I would call you more taking him at the walk. You're a little more in charge of the pace he's at, okay? And if he takes over the pace, you can increase your ab strength, a little bit resist by closing your thigh and pushing your hip back a little bit against the saddle and saying, slow your walk down. Good. And then when you want to ride, for instance, the transition to halt, what we're going to do is we're going to try to stop the movement in your hip and stop your thigh, stop everything so that all of a sudden you freeze and he stops. So try to stop your body, stop him with your thigh, and just sit really still and then pull on the reins and say, stop. Good. Make sure you didn't push more down in your heels and not up in your butt, because that would be the little two things you have to be careful of. Go ahead and walk on. He should stop. As soon as you stop your seat, he should learn to stop. Okay, this will give you half haltability. Keep your heel up a little bit. Weight in your knee and thigh, not in your feet. Good. Now you stop him again by putting a direct inward pressure with your whole thigh to his saddle, and you stop him with your seat and say, whoa, good boy. See, because now that gives you a baseline of he's going to stay on your seat and not get into your hand, okay? And he's not so in your hand when you trot without asking for impulsion. But it's when you ask for impulsion, I think he's going to get into your hand at times, huh? Yeah. Good. So now ask him to walk a little bit slower. By you sitting a little bit slower on him, keep your feet light. Good. And your seat pulling back with every stride. Say, pull back, pull back, pull back. And then give him a little half halt with your rein and say, I mean that you slow down. You can half halt a little bit by resisting your whole thigh and your hip. Good. Good. So you put that walk on your pace. Good. Good, like that, okay? Super. So it's just more on your terms. Good. And then you keep your bear down in your abs like mad. You keep the French press pressing everything down. That pressure down often helps get the horse rounder. You notice that he just got rounder as you press down a little bit more. Good. Okay, so now let's take this into your trot. Very good walk. Good job. So what you're really going to have to focus on as you are, this is quite a different trot, huh? I mean, he's round, and his tempo is great, okay? What's really cool now is because he's so round and he's reaching over his top line, and I love the fact that you have not gone heels down. I was expecting your heels to go straight to the floor. You're keeping your guts really firm. You're keeping your knee out in front of you, and you're doing a great job. Now, push him a little bit. So you push him, and you think that you might lengthen how far your hip goes slightly, but you're not going to go faster. And then you push him again. You say, get your legs moving, honey. Yeah, give him a little tap with your whip. Say, go. Good. So you're going to go. Yeah, now you give him a half halt with your seat as you sit down. You say, wait. You close your thigh and say, don't you dare get rude in your face. Good. And now you say, go forward again. And you can soften a little bit in your thigh as you ask him to go forward. Good. Push him a little bit. Give him a kick. Come on, move it. Good. And then you organize that. Super. But this is pretty convincing you're taking him, huh? This is a completely different look in your body. Keep your abs really strong. Good. And then push him up so he matches your rise. He's almost not going enough to match you, okay? You're like trotting really well and he's a little bit like, do I really have to? So you push him a little bit again. Good. There you go. Now you're getting energy, okay? Can you feel that difference?
Yeah.
This is what we want, okay? That he gets this kind of energy going. And you push him again. But you see, you can push him because your body is keeping control of the tempo. If you push him and you're too long and loose, then he just runs away a little bit and hits your hand. He has been very good about not hitting your hand, huh? Good. You keep your seat hitting the saddle like where it's tucked under a little bit. Good. Gives you a really good push down as you sit. It's really good to push down when you sit. And then push him forward. More forward. Give him a kick. Yeah. So there you go. So he moves with more brilliance, okay? You're getting more brilliance out of him by what you're doing. Okay, with your body, not by anything much craftier than that at this point, okay? And you're doing extremely good position here. Good, push him on again. Yeah, so you tell him he's got to extend his little limbs and really go for it. This is wonderful, okay? Push him on again, so go. Super, now that's moving with some class, huh? Love it, good. Okay. And a transition walk, and what you have to do is now tell me how you did this, okay? Always use claims. Okay. So, what made that work? What did you notice? What?
Really the shorter, like not thinking of making my legs as long as they can.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing is I feel more together and my thigh.
Yeah.
And like that's stabilizing my position more, whereas before when I go, you know, as far
Really
down
heel
as I
down
can,
really long, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping your thigh and your knee up. And because you have a very good rising mechanism. I mean, the way you go up and the way you sit down is super. Keeping that thigh organized for you. Because then you can push him and get him to take that longer stride, okay? When you get your knee too down, you get too long and too loose. And then when you push, he goes faster, and you don't have a good way to control that other than take him with your hand and go, don't do that. And that's not, you know, that'll just keep being a vicious cycle, okay? Here you convincingly give him a couple kicks and say, be dynamic, honey. And you're a little bit keeping the energy in him with your thighs being up where they are, and they are not up, okay? They are just not excessively down, okay? Good, switch direction. Good, make sure you've got the back of those britches really on the saddle because you just have that slight tendency to want to lift up back there. So you've got to go pubic bone up, back of the britches down, a little more. If I can pull down your waistband, I would pull you back even a little bit more. Good, and you think about his walk being, you're really telling him about what you want in terms of length of stride, in terms of speed. I would shorten the rein just a smidge. Ask him to be a little rounder in this. Good. And the deal with the reins, keep your seat moving. Good. Keep your seat moving. Yeah. So as you pick up the reins, if he's going to get a little like, I might lean on you a little bit, you stay back on the back of your seat bones. Good. You bend them a little bit to the right. It's a little harder for him to go this way. Possibly a little bit more right knee to the saddle than left knee. Help his shoulder move a little bit over. Good. Widen your outside hand just a smidge to allow that outside shoulder to come out just a hair. Good. And really think about this back forward movement in the saddle, okay? When you want more top line from him, you push back more. I don't know why that works, but it does. I do it all the time, and you push back a little more on your right side than your left side because your right side is a little bit more still. And it's possible that his right side is a little bit more still. You'll never probably see that on the video, but good. And stay back on the back of your britches and really fire up your stomach kind of around where your pocket is on the right side. Okay? Just get really strong right there. Good. Slow as walk down just a hair. Walk a little quick. When the nose starts to bob, of course, often just a little bit quick, so slow him down a little more.